Happy New Year, everybody. What a great environment. It was Kids Day. It was awesome to see all those Buffalo replica jerseys in the stands and families enjoying family time over the holidays. And just a complete team effort again by our guys, especially on the defensive end in the first half. We set a tone. I think we defended for 35 minutes. At the end, we got a little sloppy. Those things happen sometimes in a game when you have a lead, and we got to learn from that. But I just can't say enough about these two guys right here. Tim Obo just keeps getting better. I mean, the efficiency he had, the physical presence he brings on both ends. It won't show up on the stats, but it will show up in plus minus. He was plus 19 and Batch was plus 14. These guys defended their butts off, and Tim really set a tone defensively in that first half. And you know what? Then it all of a sudden comes back to him, and he has 21 points, drew 6 fouls, made foul shots. He's been working hard at that. And I said it to our guys in there. I mean, Noah Batchelor is our anchor. He's been all year. Sometimes he takes 2 shots and we win. And when you have a guy who's his last year winning, playing winning basketball and doing whatever the team needs on a given night, that's how you can be successful. And it's his dad's birthday today, and I just told our guys I'm just so proud of him, and it was fitting for him to get that last basket. Happy birthday, Keith. We love you. They had a tough year. His dad rang the bell, overcame something that it took a lot of family strength, and just so proud of the resilience he's shown throughout that whole process, and to see it coming in basketball now for him, I can't think of a better birthday present for his dad.
Noah, can we ask you a little bit about that and what that means to you and today, how that inspired you?
Yeah, it's truly special playing on my dad's birthday. He's never really, especially last year and this year, he hasn't really got to see many games just because of what he's been going through. So for him to be able to sit on the couch and watch me play and play as well as I did today is definitely special, especially for a day like this for him. So, I'm forever grateful.
What allowed your team to play the way it did today and really put this run together over the past few weeks and most of this whole season the way you guys have been playing?
We just stay together every day. G pushes us to our max, and I think it's definitely helped us a lot. As y'all can see, our record shows for it, but we play together all the time. There's no selfishness. Everybody's passing the ball around, so it's just team basketball, and it's definitely special to see that. You don't really see that many places, so it's definitely special.
Towards first 14 minutes, you jumped out to that 29-11 lead, and they were having trouble getting shots to the basket at all. They had a couple 30-second violations. Just overall, you guys, just from the opening tap, you were just incredibly effective on defense. Is that, that couldn't have gone any better for you, I guess?
No, it couldn't have. You got to set a tone. We didn't set a tone at Northern Illinois in either half, and we watched the film. We learned from it, and I'll say this. I took Tim out in Northern Illinois early in both halves and challenged him. Said, you got to be a guy that comes out of the gates like the player we know you are, and I guess you guys saw it today. That's all I have to say. And when he comes out and sets a tone like that, not that other guys don't, but when he does, man, does he make a difference. And I think that was inspiring to our team, but, our guys were dialed in on the scouting report. Ramos Pasado did a great job on the scout, getting our guys prepared, our assistant coach. But it takes those guys being dialed in and putting it to work together, and they came out and they defended and rebounded. At the end, a little lax, but, some unfortunate calls and things didn't go our way, and we kept good attitudes in the end, and we're able to finish the job.
George, what can you say about your offense and the execution, scoring 81 points when your leading scorer was held about halfway to his average?
That's what you want. You want to be able to win games different ways. We always talk about we got to do what the game requires, and our guys believe in that. If we defend and rebound, we're going to give ourselves a chance every game because we're a great offensive team right now. We got to keep getting better. I think we will, but they're selfless. Daniel Freitag's a big-time player, big-time guard. Ryan Sable's a big-time guard. Angelo Brizzi, big-time guard. Those guys can take over a game offensively sometimes on their own. But they also know that if 2 guys guard them or if they have to make a play for their teammate, they got to give it up. They made it really hard on them today. They put bodies on them. That freed Tim up, and Tim made him pay inside, and it was really efficient and really physical and on balance. It was just awesome to see. So I'm not surprised. that we could win this way. We've won this way before. But we gotta say, like, hey, this is a team we got to be all year. We got almost 5 guys in double figures. All of our starters, Freitag had 9, but he shared the ball plus 14, and our starters all were plus 11 or higher. And that's got to be how we play and start halves, because those guys are starting halves.
Tim, can you speak a little more to how you were able to get free and open in the paint? It seemed like every time you had a one-on-one, you took advantage of it. Were you getting mismatches on sets on offense, or how was the offense coming to you today?
I think it comes down to my teammates, them finding me when I'm open. Again, like, we run things, but at the end of the day, they're concepts, and we play out those and make the most of the opportunities that we get.
How's this 3-0 start for you? Being a part of the team last year, y'all 3-0 in the MAC this year.
Yeah.
How well are y'all playing versus how well y'all thought y'all could be playing?
I think, Coach, when we first came together in June, he talked about our potential and how we could be, a big-time team. And I think we've been working towards that every day, and it's just up to us to keep pushing from here.
George, when Tim's playing like that, with 20-odd points at this level, it seems like that just makes everybody better. What's his improvement mean to the overall of the team in the grand scheme of things?
It's huge. We want every guy to improve, but I've told him, when you got a guy of his size, his caliber, he moves so well. It's so unique for a guy with his dimensions. He moves his feet so well. He's got great footwork. Part of it's just gaining confidence. He knows that. Playing every day, being counted on every day, going through it, getting out in games and defenses throwing different looks at you. And he knows, he will be better when our guards are better and other guys on the floor are spacing the floor. And we have great shooting. So when you could go 10 for 22, they're going to have to pick something. And then when our guys were played tight, they gave him the ball, and his development showed today. He was awesome. He was awesome from start to finish, and just kept a great attitude. Even when I took him out one time, I think he got a little bit tired, more than anything at the end, defensively. Great attitude, into the team. Just when you have guys that are that selfless and they don't make it about themselves, we always talk about it's amazing what you can do when nobody cares who gets the credit. And I'll say he's our anchor, these two right there, but these two guys, they set the tone of that mentality every day in our program.
Ball State's offense, it seemed like they had a guy scored 20 a few games ago. It seems like they can have anybody be their leading scorer at any game. What was the key to stopping them with your defense? Did you see, is there a clear scorer that you wanted to stop, I should ask?
No, you got to play team defense and you got no personnel. When you're playing really good teams and really well-coached teams, and Michael's a great coach, they've been really banged up, and we know that. They had 3 guys that play. 3 guys that arguably could start didn't play at all tonight. They're either out sick or hurt. We know that. They're going to keep getting better over the course of the year. We're going to see them again later in the year. So you got to be ready to know personnel. You got to know that they have their continuity offense that you got to do a good job playing team defense against, which we were tremendous at. And then you got to be able to adjust. I thought we were a little on our contest on some of those threes. We need to be better. But again, I thought for 35 minutes, our guys were just dialed in, and, any given night on a team like ours, somebody could get going. You just don't want them to get going as a team, which I thought our team got going today as a team.
Shot 45% from 3, and I think if my math's right, something over 65% inside. How much of that was just making shots, and how much of that was your quality of shots?
Yeah, it's both. You got to have good shooters to make shots, and we have really good shooters. And then you got to take good ones. And I thought they took good ones. I thought we didn't force shots at the rim for the most part. And then even at the end of shot clock, we had some daggers that I thought were able to maintain a lead when we needed it. There was a big one that Brizzy hit close to the end of shot clock to go back up 17, I remember, and we called timeout. We were tired. We got that. I called timeout because I knew we needed to ride these guys and finish the game and focus on our defense. So, but when Tim Obo is 8 for 10, and he's that physical inside, and he's going to keep working and keep becoming a great foul shooter. I know that. Now that just makes us harder to guard. So the efficiency of shots is when you could do multiple things. It's hard for them to just pinpoint all right, want to take our guys. Tim Obo playing like that, he can go inside one-on-one and make plays. So again, it's just playing off each other and making the right reads, and our guys have been really doing that at a high level this year.
Is there another center in the MAC like Tim? I know there's probably size-wise, physically-wise, but all that stuff put together. Is there another center like Tim?
I don't know. We always talk about comparison as a thief of joy. All I care about is Tim Obo becomes the best Tim Obo he could be. I call him Timmy Diesel because I want to be Shaq. I want to be our Shaq. That's what I know, and he played that way. He played like Diesel today, and he's going to keep having games like that. You know, I know, you know, but he knows every game's a different game. You know, some games somebody else is going to get it going, but if he defends and rebounds like that at a high level, this team's just going to keep getting better. That's all I focus on. I don't know. I know the teams and personnel. Dimensions-wise, he's unique in terms of his wingspan's ridiculous, and it's the way he moves his feet is. But you know, we just talk about him becoming the best player he could be.
George, this feels like this point in the season when you flip to the conference schedule, you never know what teams are doing in the first 2 months because the schedules are all over the place. But it seems like you guys learned some lessons and showed today you're really ready to carry it over to the MAC. Is that the case? Have you seen that improvement process throughout the months and now you're ready to
Yep.
this?
Yeah, we talk about having a growth mindset. You know, one game at a time, one possession at a time, one day at a time. So we got to get better on Monday. We're going to have a day off. We got to get better on Monday. We got to watch the film, evaluate ourselves, learn from the film, and that's the only way you keep getting better. And you got to have guys that really are dialed into that. We have really intelligent guys, but if you can't get those guys to play hard, that intelligence isn't going to do you much. And so these guys have really responded to us, challenging them to become a better defensive and physical team and to be a better rebounding team. And it shows in our last 3 games in the MAC. I thought that's something we've done the best, is we've really improved our defense and our physicality to rebound and finish possessions. So we got to still learn from this. Just really proud of them, you know, and we got to keep having a growth mindset. Like Tim said, one day at a time, one game at a time. We're going to keep getting better.
The teams coming up on your schedule have stronger records than some of the MAC teams you've beaten so far. You know, what's the challenge to keep this going in the next few games?
What I just said. Just keep getting better. Can't look ahead. Next game, I think now, it's Ohio, I think. We got a week, right, to get ourselves reset. We got to bye. We got to utilize that bye intelligently, but we also got to get better in practice and push each other. And we will. And then you got to go prepare for Ohio, get into what they do, go into the road there, and then have to play a really hard team. And then whatever's next is next. But if you look too far ahead or think about a group of games, you know, that's when you're susceptible to kind of overlook what's right in front of you. And what's right in front of us is we have practice and film on Monday.
Anything else? Thank you,
Thanks, guys. Go Bulls.
Appreciate you guys.